What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, where today I'm going to be peeling to my lazy side. And I'm also going to be taking care of two of my biggest PC pet peeves at the same time, which is mismatched fans and ASRock ARGB software. It's terrible. So what do I mean by my lazy side? I mean, if you notice this here, I just found this on Amazon a couple days ago. It's the Cool Moon 8 PWM fan controller with ARGB headers as well. So I'm going to be able to get all 8 of these fans on this one controller. But the best part of this controller is that it comes with a remote. So I don't need software at all, except for the RAM and the pump, of course. Now those I can just use with OpenRGB, as they are both recognized by that software. So I don't have to use the ASRock software anymore, and I'm so happy about it. Because if any of you have been forced to use ASRock's ARGB software, you know, it's terrible. Seriously, ASRock, why do you need to detect all the peripherals again every single time? Just save it! Now to get rid of the mismatched fans, as you can see here, I've got 6 more Thermalright fans to replace the 3 up front, the 1 in the rear, and the 2 on the bottom. And they're almost identical to the 2 that came with the Frozen Prison cooler. Not quite the same, but about 90% visually and 100% RPM wise, they're basically the same fans as these 2 on top, so it's good enough. And once I'm done putting these fans in, I'm going to do some more gaming down here with my 4070 Super, which is going to lead into my next video, in which I'm going to be taking this new 5700X3D in here to compare a higher end AM4 build to a low to mid-range AM5 build to see which is really the better option when you're right around the same price range. These screws are such a pain in the butt. But anything for my baby though. I'm gonna have to redo all of this. And here's a little crappy control box that came with this for the DC fans that came in. I mean, at least they're ARGB fans and it did work. And on top here we had the ground key wire going up to the button on top of the case that changed the color, but we're gonna get even more lazy with a remote. While I'm at it, I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and fit another 4-pin EPS up there for the other 4-pin connector that's on the motherboard. Just cause, I don't know, if you noticed when we put this 5700X3D in there, the power draw seemed a little low, so I don't know, I'm a little curious. So hey, well I got you here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help and goes a long way to us reaching our goals. You know, we really like to bring you guys even better content more frequently, so like, share, do what you gotta do, and a huge thank you to everybody who's subscribed already. Such a tight little corner here. What were you thinking? Just imagine if I didn't cut that extra space in the top of this case here. The screws are on the inside. Oh. Hey, alright. Tiny baby hands! Alright, so now that it's out and I can actually get to it, let's go ahead and put this other 4-pin EPS in, so we can make sure our X3D is getting just the right amount of juice! Okay, so unfortunately, this controller is not going to fit on the back here. So you can see it's wider than the back. So unfortunately, the only option that we really have is to kind of just hide it down here where the hard drive bag would have been, which, I mean, I guess it's not the end of the world. It's not ideal, but it'll do. That screw. This is gonna be so many wires. Whoever the twisty tie guy at Thermal is deserves a raise. These things are on there so freaking tight. And they're wrapped like a million times. And I'm actually not going to go ahead and put the GPU in yet. It's pretty late on a Saturday night, and I kind of like to game a little bit and enjoy the rest of my Saturday night. So I'm just going to fire it up to make sure all the fans and everything are spinning, make sure the RGB is working, and then I think I'm going to go play some more Red Dead. Please work, please work. Yes! First time. I hate doing that much wiring. It's not difficult, it's just tedious and confusing sometimes, all those darn wires. But how about the remote? Oh well, they're working. I think the battery's just dead in this remote. Alright, go play some Red Dead, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, good morning. How's it going there, sleepyhead? Got a new battery in the remote. I think that's probably what it is, because I've had this controller sitting around for like 2 years. I'm just not using it, so. It's also quite the jumbled mess of cables down there. I mean, with 8 fans, 16 wires, there's a lot going on down there since we couldn't mount the controller on the back. So I think I'm also going to see if I can bring the PCIe through there instead. Just clear up some space back there so that way I can manage these along the backside. But it's a brand new day, it's Sunday morning, so I'm going to give it a shot, see what kind of cable management I can actually do. I don't think there's going to be anything I can do about these here because the cables just barely reached to the control box as is. So there's really nothing I can do about that. I don't have any other PWM extensions at this moment, and I just really don't feel like using a splitter for this. You know, it's not that big a deal. So I'll see you guys in maybe an hour or so. This case is pretty terrible for cable management. Like, there's no room back there whatsoever. It's flat as can be. But for 35 bucks, this is still a darn good case. So I'm not really gonna complain. You know, I'm the one doing it to myself with all the RGB fans, but you know me, gotta be fancy. Now, get over the stabilizer again. Okay. It's heavy. It's heavy now. Let's see. Does the remote work now? So unfortunately, this was a complete utter failure. Even after changing the battery in this and clearing up space down there, it's still just, the colors will not change. It won't even change with ASRock software. And I don't know if you can hear the fans are going full speed, even though I have it set in the BIOS. So unfortunately, I think this controller is just dead and kind of acting as a pass-through for power at this point. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and pull it back out and put it back the way it was, because I hate my fans running at full speed like this. It's still early enough on Sunday. I got time to do it.
1 hour later.
Ay, ay, ay. So many freaking wires on this thing, but it's back to normal. Let's go ahead and fire it back up, make sure she still works with the button. Okay, so this has literally just become an advertisement for how annoying RGB can be. All I wanted to do was replace those 2 non-RGB Corsair fans and have the rest of them match. All of it's adding 2 RGB fans, and yet here I am with another problem now. So I turned it on, everything is working, you know, the fan speeds are fine, good, that problem solved. But now the problem is, I think 8 fans is just a little too much for that controller to handle on the RGB side of things, because all the fan lights would flicker. And now the controller actually only has 6 headers for RGB. So 3 of them are actually daisy chained on one RGB header, but all the fans were flickering. So I think what I'm gonna do is just take those 2 that I daisy chained off, bring them up here and daisy chain them with the pump RGB, because right now all I have on that header is just the pump RGB, and all that is just this little ring light here. So I think that should fix the problem, hopefully. If not, I hate RGB. Okay, so the crappy thing is I'm still gonna have to use ASRock software if OpenRGB won't work with them, but I think it will. On the bright side though, it's so much quieter. It looks a lot better having these 2 down here, even though that's not the color I'm going to leave it as, obviously. But at the end of the day, I'm just glad to be finished with this. I'm a little disappointed that the whole controller remote thing just didn't work anymore, but I don't know what I was expecting after 2 years with Cool Moon products. But anyways guys, that's all for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out our free giveaway PC and like and subscribe. It really helps us get to our goals, guys. And keep an eye out, pretty soon I'll be uploading a video I'm about to start testing for right now, which is going to be an AM4 higher end build versus an AM5 mid to low range build to see if AM5 is really worth the money. So we'll see you guys then.